and we were having to borrow money to make the notes. And last year we did better, and partially because of the flood, and partially because the base was doing remodeling of their facility, which they have finished now. And I don't really know where it's going from here, but I don't anticipate having a lot of growth this year from here on out, because we're losing the business we had at the military base. And so I'm looking probably from now to a year from now, probably another 40% occupancy, just to get back. And I don't believe that the baseball is adding that much to it. I don't, not at the level it was. When it was doing the very best, we may have been getting 20 or 30%, but that was back when it was really in its heyday. And it could get there again. And I'm not against the stadium, I'm for it. But I think we need some type of management that's gave a budget, held accountable, and tell them what you expect for them to achieve, and give them the authority, and give them the leeway, and see if they can't make the order. I don't believe the way it's operating now will ever fit there. We got a sports authority that don't have any authority. The person running it don't have authority. And so I think the whole operation needs to be led by somebody, give them a budget, and tell them what you expect them to do, and not run it.
It's very difficult on him because he basically works for two masters. He's a department head under Richard, and he's also working for the sports authority. So
or either lease it out.
Sort of a dilemma.
Lease it out. We had a little carnival in town a few years ago that probably carried more money out of town than we were producing out here, because they know how to do it. And we need to get somebody running that knows how to produce money.
I mean, I know one of the things when we had the Gulf South Conference, Nate Salon had a lot of complaints. So that's a big event that comes into town. Pretty much fills up all the hotels. Gulf South does fill up hotels.
Right.
And actually this year, because we had the rugby, I think it was like just too much thing going on at the same time. We send rooms away to other cities, and we could have kept that revenue if we would have spread those events out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think Gulf South will be back next year because they're breaking up the conference. So, and Nate always complains.
That's also very important what you just said, Dale, is that we make sure that we don't have all events on the same weekend, that we try, and it's not always possible,
right,
but that we do try to make sure that those events are scattered out more throughout the year. And we can bring people in at different times, because we don't need people staying in Memphis or Covington or whatever if they want to stay here for an event, just because we don't have the room, because we've got so many events going on at the same time.
Yeah,
You're right. It's very important that we do that.
That's a good point. But, the rugby was a state championship, and that's the first time it ever been in West Tennessee. That's scheduled like 3 years out. And Gulf South is scheduled years out. So, we won't get to see the rugby state championship back till 2014, I think. They're coming back.
That is going to happen sometime.
Yeah.
At that same time, we had probably 100 rooms taken by military at that same time, which probably would never happen again. And so there's a lot of things going on. But Holiday Inn couldn't take any. Hampton Inn couldn't take any of it. So it was something that won't happen all the time.
When you were in Atlanta, did y'all ever work with those guys there to give them numbers to help them see what kind of economic impact the hotel was having to that area?
When we were in Atlanta, they generally use a formula, and whatever they take in, they kind of times it by that and divide it. It was kind of like a formula that we calculated that kind of, and I think when I was in Atlanta, the Chamber of Commerce did that, and they had a travel and tourism department that actually did that and had those figures calculated on when they had certain events coming into town from, I guess, they got reports from different things like the STAR report, the Smith Travel Research Report, and things like that, and kind of got the numbers from the hotels and had what kind of an economic impact it had on the local economy.
Would that, or could that model be used to some degree here, you think, or adjusted to be used?
Yeah.
The Memphis Convention Visitors Bureau has a model that, I don't know if they would necessarily use that same model for Millington, but they have a model that they use.
Acadia has talked about trying to adapt one for just for
It just have to be
accessibility.
adapted
Yeah.
for Millington, which could seem to me could easily be done. They do have a model they use, very, very efficient.
Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Barger?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Carruthers?
Aye.
Mr. Ford?
Aye.
Mr. Lowry?
Aye.
Mr. Morgan?